Well, howdy ho, Stampers. Deb Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach, and today I'm here to show you how to do a Z-fold box card. It's actually two types of cards combined into one to make this technique that's on steroids just pop beyond belief. So let me show you the card when it's closed. It's a cute little card that's got a lot of dimension, but when it opens up, it's got this amazing look to it. Do you see how all of the depth that it has? When you look at it from the top, you can see that there is actually that box card. Remember our exploding little box cards? But it actually is inside a card. So like I said, it's actually two cards into one, a Z-fold card and a box card, and I just combined them into one. So let's just show you how to do it. It's very super simple, okay? So we're going to take and cut a few pieces first. So your card base is going to be cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and it's going to be scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then I have a strip, and this is the outer strip. Let me just show you the outer strip right here. That's, believe it or not, when this lays down, there is a strip that runs right straight across here, all right? So this is what I call the outer strip, and that is right here. And that's going to be scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. All right, and then the next strip we have is going to be the inner strip, which is going to be this little Z fold in the middle, and that's how I named it the Z fold card, because this has just a bunch of Z's to it. It also has a Z right here. You see where the Z is right there? So it's just a card on steroids, but it is so easy. So your card base just consists of these three pieces, and then you can combine them and embellish them any way that you want to. So this card right here I actually did for Easter, as you can tell. All right, I have another Easter card that I did using some more product from Fun Stampers Journey, but this one is just absolutely beautiful. You see how I have the tapes here, and again, it's a box card and a Z card both together. You can decorate these any way that you want. And then I did do a Valentine's Day one right here. And again, when it lays flat, it's got a lot of dimension. It's really beautiful. But when you open it up, wow, look at all of the elements to this card right here. And again, it's a box card. Now with this one, I didn't add the pieces directly to the box. I used the window sheets. And I will have a video on this one also. So I just wanted to show you that you could do so many different things with this card. Just imagine this with a birthday card. You can use this with any of your birthday stamps. Just absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's get back to the mechanics of this card right here. I'm going to bring in my grid sheet so I have a place to work on. I'll keep my card in the picture so that you can actually see what I'm working on. And let's start with our card base. Remember, we're going to turn this into a Z card, so it does have to be folded in the middle, okay, at our 5 1/2 inches. And then it's going to be folded backwards. So I just scored right here at the 2 3/4 inch mark, and I'm just going to fold this one backwards. Now it's a really good idea to have a crease tool like this, because this will make your card go together so much better. All right, so there is our Z fold card right here. All right, and the next piece is our layer for the outside. Remember the piece or the strip that goes all the way along here? We're going to take and we're going to fold that one next. All right, so we're going to take, and I scored all these like I said, and then we're going to fold this in half just like we did the actual card. And if you folded this backwards, don't worry. When we go to put it on, you can take and refold it the opposite way, no biggie. All right, so here is our Z fold for our long card. All right, let's take and put these two together so that you can see how the card is coming together. All right, so you don't want to put it together this way, because that would be the exact same way. So we want to take and we want to put it together the opposite way so that we get that little box in there. All right, do you see what I did? I just put the long piece over here. Instead of doing the Z fold the same way, I put the long piece over here and the short piece over here. So let's start by putting our Easy Glide onto the back end of this part right here. So any tape runner that you have will work. And we're going to just adhere that to this side of the card. All right, just make sure you get it nice and straight and even on the bottom. Definitely even on the bottom. So you want to take a little bit of time and make sure that it's all nice and even. All right, so we've got one side that's already done. Again, taking your crease tool and just making sure everything adheres really well. And then this one over here, we're going to do the same thing. Now what I do is just kind of just eyeball it, but you don't want your tape runner to walk over onto this part, because otherwise you'll glue your card shut before it's even started. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take and adhere that to this side over here, and I'm just going to close it to make sure that it is nice and straight, nice and flat. We're good to go. Now do you see what we just made? We just made our little box right in here. All right, it folds nice and flat, it opens up nice and flat. This card is just spectacular, and I hope you give it a try because it's super easy. All right, so let's make the inside right now. I am going to get out some of my white liner tape, because I do like to adhere this on the inside with the white liner tape. Now this one is scored at the dimensions I told you earlier, and what I want to do is I want to take and run you through how to fold this. So if we fold this one this way, the first fold is going to go this way, all right? The next two folds are going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to take and fold 1 and 2. So they're going to go the same way, but let me just crease them so that I know that I've done that, okay? So I've creased those. So now let me just recap, okay? So this one went this way, and this one went the opposite way. So these two have to go the opposite way of this one. So I'm just going to take and fold this one that way and score, and fold this one that way and score, and then our last one over here is going to go the opposite way. It'll all make sense when you open it up and you see, okay, when you put it all together, it's kind of like the Amazing Trail, okay? So it's going to go like this, all right? Kind of like a little squirreliness. Okay, now to make sure you put the tape on the right sides. So we need tape on this side, and we need tape on this side so it adheres to our boxes, all right? But when you open it up, those are literally on the opposite side. So this is the side we need the tape on. We're going to put our tape runner there, skip this one, and put it here. So let's just grab our white liner tape, and I'm just going to show you what I mean. I like to put it on both sides, one toward the cut side and one toward the crease side, so that it holds really well. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to skip this one and go to this one right here. Now this one only needs one right down the middle because it's not as big of a crease. All right, now we want to flip it over. Okay, so we have it on this side, skip, and this side. Let's flip it over, and we're going to do it, so we have it on this one, so we need to do it on this one, close to the crease. And we're going to skip this one and go close to the crease. So where I am putting these down are on the ones that are popping up. See how that's indented? I'm going to do it on the pop-up. So when I look at this, yes, no, and on the opposite side, I have no on that side, but I do have yes, no, and yes. I hope that makes sense, all right? Now grab your little bloom tool, and we're going to take and burnish these and just grab them off. Okay, just burnish and peel. I love my bloom tool. All right, same with this one. Burnish and peel. Okay, and then being careful not to have it adhere to your mat. We're going to burnish this one and then peel this up just like this. All right, we got these two left over here, and we're done with the tape, and we can add it to our box. All right, so I'm just going to grab this and this. All right, now we're going to add it to our box. Now watch carefully what I do when I go to put it into my little square right here. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I just glued it to my paper. Here we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and see this big one right here and this big one right here. We have to put it into our box, and it doesn't matter whether you put this one in the front or that one in the front. They're exactly the same in reverse. All right, so I'm going to very carefully, because we've got very sticky tape in here, I'm just setting it inside there, okay? Now what I want to do not press on this one and do not press on this one. Those are your inside creases. But what I do want you to do is to press this all the way down, okay? And so it's nice and even with the top. And I do want you to take and make nice impressions right here. So this first large band is actually glued to the square, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back. I'm going to take it, I'm going to push this one all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to tap it in there, and then I'm going to just burnish it in there, all right? I did not adhere this middle one and this middle one right here yet, and I'm going to show you why. What I'm going to do now is to just make sure they're nice and loose, all right? And we're going to let them close all by themselves. See, I made sure that they were nice and loose. That's very important, okay? And then when I go to close it, it's going to adhere itself. So now I lay it down and just press. And when I lift it up, look at how perfect that box is. So let me just recap again. This one I pressed in. This one I pressed in also. But these two were very loose. I closed it, and when I laid it down, voila. Okay? Perfect, perfect box. Okay? So now we have our Z-fold card and our Z-fold box. We're ready to decorate this. Super easy, super simple. All right? All right, so what I did was I took my little egg stamp, and you can use anything, like I said, to embellish this with. I took my egg stamps, I stamped a whole bunch of them. When I go to stamp, you know I stamp a whole lot of stuff. I went through and I just colored a whole bunch of them because I do love to color. So I have 2 of these eggs. And then I took some of our designer paper, okay, and I cut out a bunch of these eggs also. Now this one has a free little egg cut out with it, okay? So you have your egg cut out. This is a Bloom Benefit, so it is free. And what I did was I just went through and cut out a whole bunch of these eggs. All right, so when I'm sitting down to do them, now I have them for other cards besides the cards that I'm doing. And the same way with these. I just stamped up a whole bunch of them, cut them out. You know we multitask in our crafting world, and that's exactly what I did. So I cut out these 2 eggs right here, and then I cut out a bunch of these eggs right here in my designer paper. Okay, and remember, designer paper has 2 sides to it, so you can mix and match. And so we've got a total of, I think we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eggs. Okay, we have 8 eggs. And then I just stamped my little bunny. I'm giving you all the pieces that I did to finish my card up for this Easter card. I'm going to take my black licorice ink and just stamp my little bunny. Like so. And then he's one of our ATSs right here. He's so super cute, isn't he? Just adorable, absolutely adorable. So that is the Easter bunny that I stamped up. And then what I did, whoops, here's another little egg floating around. And then what I did was I cut him out. All right, so for the sake of time, I just cut him out ahead of time, and then I colored him. And what I colored him with are the pan pastels from Fun Stampers Journey, and I used the Mother Nature and the dark roast color. All right, so let me just open this up, and these are our pans. I'm just going to take my soft tool right here. And this is just such fast coloring. And I'm just going to take and just lightly color around him. Taking off some of that, okay, and just color around him. All right, and then I'm going to go back in and blend with the other side. You see how it just kind of blends in? And just blend his little face right here and around. And then just take the opposite side and blend in. All right, and you can take and color as much or as little as you want. You can blend as much as you want, but I just wanted to get a little bit of color on him. Do you see where I have a little bit of color on him? Just to make him pop and not make him look like he was just super flat. All right, again, use your pan pastels for that. And then what I did was, what other pieces? Oh, we have some grass. So for the grass, I used my Borders detail, and I just cut it out with my Amaze machine or my Journey Platinum, I think I used on this one. And then just take your bloom tool and pop these out, and you're good to go. They just pop out just like this. And we need 2 of these. When you're making these, we need 2 of these little guys right here. So I have 2 of those pieces right there. And then I needed some clouds. So I used my cloud die, and I used 2 of the smaller clouds and cut out a bunch of clouds. So I think I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 large ones, and we have 3 small ones. All right, so now that we have all of our pieces, we're ready to put the whole thing together. All right, so keeping this in the picture, the first thing that I want to do is to add my grass. Okay, so let's just take and with my Easy Glide, or you could use your, you could also use your white liner tape. All right, I'm just going to add some of this and add it to my card. So starting over here at the very end, I'm going to bring it over. Now remember, this is going to wrap around a little bit, okay? So you can either do one of 2 things. I like to just wrap it around because then you don't have that little open spot right there. And then we're going to take our second piece and do the exact same thing for it. All right? So we're going to just go just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And you can also use your white liner tape. Like I said, just put one nice thick long line across there. We're going to add this one to this spot right here, making sure I'm very even with the bottom of my card. And then I'm just going to trim off the ends, okay? So we're going to just crease this here. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! Okay, so now what I want to do is to just flip this over, take my Grand Pro shears. They don't stick, they don't leave gunk on them, so I'm not afraid to cut through any of our tape here. All right, so here is that. And then I'm going to cut off this side too, because we do want it to fit inside our envelope. So I'm just going to cut off these little pieces right here. And we're good to go. So let's see how our grass looks. Isn't that so cute? Okay? And you can trim these off too. I think I might just do that, is just to trim off this piece right here and that piece right there. Okay, so now we have our grass. The next thing I want to do is to take and add my little bunny. And my little bunny is popped, so I'm going to grab some of my Journey foam squares and just add them to this piece right here. All right. Okay, so we've got our Journey foam squares. We're going to add our little bunny right here. Isn't he so cute? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and add some adhesive to the backs of my clouds and just randomly put them here, there, and yonder. All right, so I'm just going to add some Easy Glide to that. And this is just tape and a roller. Okay, so now let's just take and put this little guy right here, and he just slides right underneath my my little bunny, because remember the bunny is raised. And then I'm going to take a big one and add it over here, just so like it looks like the clouds are floating. And then let's take a little one and put that one right up here. All right, and then on this part right here, we have a big one that goes over here. And you can add more or less as far as you want with clouds. And then I'm going to put one over here. Okay, and you can add more if you need to. Like I said, after I get my little eggs in there, we'll add some more. Okay, all right, so here is the only thing we have left to do is to add our eggs. So now what you want to be careful when you're adding things to is you want to be careful which side you put the adhesive on, because sometimes the things are going to be glued on straight on, and other times they're going to be glued on the back. So sometimes I'm going to need my glue on the back, and sometimes I'm going to need it on the front. That's a very important tip. So what I do as a rule of thumb is I just glue as I go along. So I'm going to take this one, and this one's going to be put on the front. So I'm going to take my Easy Glide and just add it to my little egg. Now I want my little egg to look like it's inside the grass. All right, and then we'll take one of the ones that is just from our designer paper and do the same thing. This one's going to be put on the back. So let's just take and it depends on how far you want it down there. All right, so I'm just going to take and put that on there like that. And the next one will go on the inside. So for this one, I put it on the back edge. So I'm going to take one of my ones that is, let's put these over here. I'm going to take one of the ones that is cut out just from the designer paper. Be careful you don't put it on the top. You only want the adhesive on the bottom because the top will stick and close your card. So what I like to do is to close the card to make sure that they're going to run nice and smooth when the card is closed. So it looks pretty when it's closed as well as when it was open. All right, so I'm going to add that one right there. And then the next one, again, I'm going to put the adhesive on the back. Like this, because that's going to go on the back of the next panel right here. So I'm going to put this one right over here. Okay, and you can put them at different heights. You can put them at different, all right, so now this one, whoops, that one's over too far. All right, so just lift it up and push it over. Okay, there we go. I think that one's good. Yep. And it's still over a little bit too far, so we're going to take and, there we go. All right, so now I have it. So it's, see, when you open it up, they kind of go this way and that way. All right, and now the next one, I'm going to take and I'm going to put the glue on the front, and I'll show you why. All right, so this is the one that I want to use. I'm putting it on the front, and instead of adhering it to the back of this little thing, I'm going to adhere it to the front. So that one's going to go right over here just like that. All right, so when it's opened, it's actually on the same panel as this yellow one. All right, and then for my last one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it on the front like this, and you can add as many or as few as you want. That's up to you. All right, and that one's going to go right here on the back of this one. Now you see all the dimension this has when it's opened and when it's closed. And now I have two more that are left. I'm going to take this one, and if you look at my original, okay, that's these right over here. I'm going to take and slide them. Again, these are going to be glued on the back because they're just going to be hidden inside the grass. So I'm going to hide that one there, and I'm going to take the other one that I colored, and I'm going to just put it right over here. And believe it or not, you are done with your card. Isn't this absolutely adorable? Now you don't want anything hanging out because when it's closed, okay, whoops, which means we need to get this little guy over, because when it's closed, you want this to fit into your normal size, you want it to fit into your normal size envelope, okay? I still don't like that. There we go. Okay, so now when it's closed, it looks like this. And when they're, oh wait, we forgot his tail. How could we forget his tail? So what I did was I just took a little cotton, and I'm going to take my, oh, this is just the cutest part ever, okay? We're going to take some of our Journey Craft glue, lay it on there for his little bunny butt, and there's his tail. And you can add or subtract from this by just pulling it off, but isn't that adorable? And that is your Z-Fold box card. I hope you enjoyed my post. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. And thank you to Splitcoast for inviting me to be one of their guest artists today.